Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Bob Arum clarifies report that Gervonta Davis will face Shakur Stevenson next. Gervonta Davis is a man high in demand and looks set to future in a lightweight division later this year. The 29-year-old from Baltimore returned to the ring last month after over a year out, dispatching of previously undefeated Frank Martin in aid to retain his WBA world title. The two fights fans want to see are Gervonta and WBC champ Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson this weekend defended his belt successfully, albeit underwhelmingly in the eyes of many, and reinforced his desire to face a fellow champion next. Breaking news: Gervonta Davis fights Shakur Stevenson this fall, and he will fight the winner early 2025. Bob Arum of the Top Rank, who promotes Shakur until his contract ran its course this weekend not to be renewed, told Boxing Sense the news was made up. Let's not the jumps these guys makes upset. What's next for Shakur, Gervonta Davis, William Zepeda, and other potential opponents for New York native after Artyom Aratunian victory? Shakur Stevenson wants the best that the 135-pound division has to offer. While he is fresh off a dominating victory against Artyom Aratunian, he has already reiterated his desire to have the marquee fight that he seems to have been chasing for a while. So, who fits the bill? Is it one of the standing champions at 135, or is it any up-and-coming hot prospect that can quench his ambition? If you already have a name in mind, then listen to me. Sugar put on a show before his home crowd at Prudential Center as he exhibited his superior defense and swift movement. However, it did not turn out to be exactly an exciting performance that the fans wanted to witness. While Shakur Stevenson made his first successful defense at 135, it also stamped his doctor's criticism of him being a not-so-fan-friendly fighter and tough to market. The American fighter needs a name that can go to real fight against him and allow him to showcase the best version of himself. And you don't have to look beyond the biggest name at 135 in Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson vs Gervonta Davis. High payout, clash of brutal force and technical proofs. What does Stevenson, 25, need right now? An opponent that brings the fight to him and possesses an explosive arsenal. What's more, Davis, 29, more than qualifies. Gervonta has swayed the fans with his thunderous knockout power and has a long list of followers, which will also bring traction to their fight. In addition, the two have been at each other's throats for quite some time, so the hype and the demand for a fight are already there. And you would love to see a showdown of contrasting fighting styles, where the WBC champion's technical skills and his fast pair of hands, along with accurate punching ability, might frustrate and triumph over Davis in the ring IQ and the thunderous power. However, Shakur Stevenson also runs the risks of getting ripped apart by the Baltimore native. Will he be able to put on a masterclass of hitting and simultaneously avoid getting hit, as he has done in his previous fights? Undoubtedly, the hypothetical fight will attract eyeballs, and promoters won't shy away from investing money in it. The fight has all the ingredients of a pay-per-view blockbuster, where both boxers will pose the biggest threat to each other to date. Stevenson will have the chance to add another gold strap to his waist, and a heavy paycheck is also guaranteed. But is it worth the risk this early in his career? What if the New York native first tests the waters and goes against a fighter with a similar style? Shakur vs William Zepeda, cementing a grip on the WBC title. William Zepeda is every fighter's nightmare. He is a relentless pressure fighter who brings aggression into the ring and is currently hovering near the top to get his title shot. With another comprehensive beatdown and stoppage of Giovanni Cabrera within 3 rounds, the Mexican fighter is raring to go for the knockout. You can label him one of the most exciting fighters in the boxing world today, and no one would contest your claim. So it again becomes a tussle between a super skilled boxer and a violent, aggressive fighter, but with lower risks for Stevenson. They say styles make matches, and it will be an entertaining fight for the fans. While Stevenson prefers a pullback approach, Zepeda likes to go after his foe and outbox him. The fight promises fireworks and a fast-paced action. What makes the bout interesting is that the 28-year-old fighter has never faced a competitor that matches Stevenson's skill set. Conversely, the champion has also not gone toe-to-toe with anyone who boasts of Zepeda's strength and carries a similar zeal and determination. Despite the fight being billed as a mouth-watering battle, there will be doubts in Stevenson's mind about whether Zepeda is a name big enough to brush aside. Will he get enough credit for defeating Cameron? Maybe that's the reason Stevenson didn't pay heed when Oscar de la Hoya offered Zepeda to him, and there is a good enough reason for that. Shakur Stevenson might have a name that fits his grand vision. Shakur Stevenson retained the title with win over Artem Marutunian, in a fight that showcased his skills and also perhaps highlighted why Top Rank is not fighting too hard to prevent his free agency. Shakur Stevenson defended his WBC title via a technically proficient but ultimately underwhelming performance against Artem Marutunian, winning a unanimous decision but rarely threatening to finish the contest early Saturday at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Marutunian has a natural fighter style, and Stevenson seemed to take a couple of rounds to figure him out, as Marutunian don't see him, waved and twitched, circling around Stevenson. Newark's Stevenson began to find his range in the third and the fourth, and in the fifth started cranking up the pressure, landing a two-punch combination to the head before switching downstairs. Marutunian was, in theory, doing many of the things he needed to do. He didn't stand still in front of Stevenson, didn't make himself an easy target for the American's lightning-fast punches. He circled Stevenson constantly fire out punches to keep his opponent occupied, tried to make himself as elusive as he could, but Stevenson's defensive acumen and the precision punching are otherworldly, and once he was locked in, he worked his way through the gears and turning up the pressure, picking Marutunian apart with strength punches to the head and hurting him badly with a body shot in the sixth. The physical contrast was fascinating. Marutunian, wide-eyed, all nervous moment, and never still for a second. Stevenson supremely relaxed, a study in the economy of motion, wasting no energy and making every punch count, while Oshakio Foster, robbed in the so many event, was presumably punished by the judges for constantly retreating and punching on the counter. Stevenson stood in the pocket, forcing Marutunian to stay on the move as the local man controlled the center of the ring. By round 8, Stevenson was walking his opponent down, moving him backward. Marutunian was by now happy to circle at more of a distance, Stevenson's body punches having apparently sapped his desire to engage too forcefully, and the couple more body punches in the ninth had the German moving away with greater urgency. To his credit, Marutunian then made the decision that the best defense was a stepped-up offense, and he tried to open up to keep Stevenson off him as the ninth round closed. He continued his relative offensive output in the 10th, and although Stevenson was completely unconcerned and in no danger of losing, Marutunian's activity was helping keep Stevenson's offense at bay and highlighted the fact that while Stevenson is a singular talent, he sometimes lacks the ability or willingness to find a way fully to break down his opposition, even when a clear control, while Stevenson continued to look for opportunities to land meaningful blows down the stretch. He did not display the application or duel to force those openings to appear and ultimately seemed content to play out the string. The result was a formality, Stevenson winning a unanimous decision by scores of 119-109, 118-110, and a too close 116-112. Stevenson won the fight and retained his title. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.